Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of the crochet along. Today we're going to learn how to read graphs and we're going to make our second square. So you should have made 4 solid squares and now you're working on square number 5, which is the 5th one, but this is the second unique pattern that we're working on. So what I have here is I have my graph. You can, if you click the link in the description, it will take you to where you can download and print this graph. And this is the small planet graph. So we're going to be working with the same solid color, the color that you used to make your solid one in the last video. And then your second color. And I have, there's a few small planets, so you can, whichever one you want to work on. If you want to work on Mars, then you can have like a reddish color. And we're going to get started. So how you read the graph is you start from here, this is the first one, and then you work like this, because as you know, corner to corner is worked from the corner to corner. So, and to make printing easier, I made the background white. So the background is going to be gray, but for printing purposes, I left it white. Okay, so let's get started. So for the graph, we're not going to introduce the second color for a few times. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to go 10 squares before we even bring in the second color. So here's how you start it. You chain 5. And I'm going to go through this a little quickly. I'm going to assume that you're now comfortable working the corner to corner. If you feel like you need a little bit more help on that, be sure to click over to the other square. I give a lot more in-depth details of how to work it in that video. And so in this one, I'm just going to show you how to change colors and how to read the graph. And then how to read a written pattern for corner to corner. So I'm just going to continue on. And in your own time and in your own work, I want you to work 10 rows so that you have 10 this way and 10 this way, and then on row 11 we're going to join the next color. Okay, so we have completed our 10 rows. You should have 10 along here and then 10 up here. And if you want, you can X off all the rows as you work them. This one is a little bit easier because it is symmetrical, but soon we're going to be working a pattern that is not symmetrical. Okay, that line went a little crooked. Okay, so we have worked these 10 rows, so this is done, and so now we're going to work on this row. And because this is symmetrical, you can just go up from the bottom every time. I wouldn't suggest doing that on other patterns, but since I know this one's symmetrical, I'm giving you permission to just work up from the bottom. So this one we're going to join. So we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 grays before we join that second color. So this is starting row 11. And remember, this first one counts as 1. So when you're doing the same color, it's kind of easy just to get in a groove. But this does count as the first one. So we just completed that one. Now we're going to work 3 more. Okay, so there's 4. So now we're going to join our other color. And I'm going to be working with purple. Okay, so I'm going to join it, putting my hook through there. Drop your gray. Grab this yarn and pull it through. So you're using the second color to work the slip stitch that gets you ready to work your next block. So now I've got my purple, and I'm going to continue working the purple. And I'm going to work the purple 1, 2, 3. So I'm working 3 with purple. And one counts as 1 block. So we're not counting stitches when you do a corner to corner, you're counting blocks. So you're going to work 3 blocks with your second color. There's 2, and then here's 3. Okay, so now we need gray again. But whoops, gray's down here. So you can do bobbins here if you want. I prefer, I mean, if you look at the graph, you can see that half of it, this chunk and this chunk is all, most of it's gray, and I don't know, I'm just really bad at judging how much yarn I'll need, so I just use a whole other ball. We have quite a bit of this gray yarn for this project, and so I would just grab either a half done ball from before, from one of your, if you didn't finish all the way through one, for your solid squares, or if you have one that's brand new, you should have a pile of these grays, because we ordered quite a few for this project. So just grab a new one, and then you're going to join the new one right here. So you're going to have 2 balls of gray connected to the square for now. So you're going to join it exactly like you did before. You're going to pull the yarn through, working the slip stitch with the new color. And so now we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. Okay, so now we're going to start this row. And I changed my mind. Even though you can work from the bottom every time, I'm just going to teach you the real way to do it. That would be just less confusing. Okay, so now we're going to work on this row. And since we're turning the piece 9 degrees each time, from this spot, you're going to start on this square and work down. And when you come over, you're going to work up, down, back and forth in that manner. So we're going to work the first stitch. Or not the first stitch, the first block. And we're flipping it. So now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. So there's 4. Now you're going to drop this yarn again because we're switching back over to the purple. So we worked 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 of your second color. So it's right here where you left off. It was at the end and now it's at the beginning because we turned. So pull it over and then work your next 4 blocks with that color. Okay, so there's 4. So now we're going to drop the purple, your second color, whatever color you're working with, and then bring up the gray, which is right there, and continue on by using that as the slip stitch yarn. So we're going to work 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. Alright, so now we're ready to turn. We gotta work the first one again. So now we're back at the bottom. So now we're gonna work 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray again. Whoops. So we work the first one before flipping. And we're going to work 3 more. Okay, so there's 4. And I'm going to pause for a minute and get untangled. It does get kind of tangled a little bit. Just make sure you stay on top of the tangles. It doesn't get too out of control. Okay, so now we're back up here in the second color. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your second color on this row. So use the purple to work your slip stitch. And then work 5 blocks. So there's our 5. So now we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 with the gray. Whoops, I'm dropping my purple, picking up the gray. All right, now we're moving on to the next row. So we reached the top and now we're going to start on this row. So the first one, I'm going to work right here. Turn it. Then I'm going to work 1, 2, 3 more. Okay, and then we're bringing this over. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with your second color. So 6 with purple or whatever color you're using. Okay, so I worked those 5 and I'm going to bring up my gray and I'm going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 with the gray. All right, that completes that row. So now we're starting here. We're almost halfway done. So I'm going to do my first one. Turn. Okay, so we're working 4 more for a total of 5 gray blocks. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with your second color. Okay, and then we're going to bring over the gray and work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one, almost halfway done. Flip. And we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 more with gray. Okay, there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with your second color. Okay, and then we finish the row with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with gray. Okay, so now we are halfway done. So now we are going to start decreasing. So we're going to start with this one. And since we're not going out farther, we're not going to work that first one. So we're going to work that one by chaining 3, flipping, and then slip stitching into there, and then working it right there. So now we're not working out any farther, so we've worked that one. And now we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 more with gray. Okay, so now we're going to drop this gray. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with your second color. There's our 5. Then we're going to finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with gray. Okay, so there's our 5. And since we're decreasing, we're just going to join right there. That's the end of the row. So now we're going to move on to this one. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 gray. So flip. Start the new row by chaining 3 and slip stitching. And then work your 4 gray blocks. Okay, and now we're moving on to our second color. We're going to be working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we're going to move on and do 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. Okay, so we've done our 4, so we're going to join the slip stitch, then flip, chain 3, and slip stitch, and we're ready to start the next one. And this one we're starting from the bottom, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. Okay, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the second color. And then we're going to switch back to gray. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. I'm going to finish with a slip stitch, chain 3, flip it, and then slip stitch. I'm ready to start this next row. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 with the second color. We're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. Okay, so we're going to join with a slip stitch, chain 3, and flip, and slip stitch. And then this will be the last round of using the second color. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 with gray. Okay, and then at this point, you can actually cut this yarn because we're done using 2. And then you're going to do your last 1, 2, 3 with your second color. And you can also cut your second color because we're done with that. And then pick up your gray You're going to finish out the row by working 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to join with a slip stitch. And then from here on out, you're just working gray. So you're going to finish your square by decreasing up the side until you come all the way down to 1 and finish your square with gray. Okay, so we have finished this square. Just remember when you're finishing it off that you want to chain 3 and slip stitch into the corner to finish. So this is the small planet square. So I want you to make 4 more of these. You need a total of 5 of these squares. So you should have 4 solid and then make 4 more of these to have 5. So you'll have 9 total squares after today. All right, thanks so much for watching and stay tuned for day 3.